So that used to make me wonder sometimes. But as I said, I was pretty comfortable. When now I got exposed to Islam, then my questions became more, and now I started questioning the process more.
How did you feel when you took Shahada?
I took the Shahada alone in my room. I had asked for a copy of the Quran. I read the Fatiha. Then I started reading Baqarah. Then I got to Baqarah verse 2, and he said, this is a book in which there is no doubt. And I said, for me, you have to make up your mind. You can't keep asking forever. You can't keep dodging. I think in your heart, you know that Islam is true. It's building on what you already know, and you have to make up your mind. And remember, I said I had mentioned to my parents that I'm going to start practicing Islam. So I went into my room. I was staying on my own with my siblings. Yeah, the house was mine, but I was staying with my younger siblings. And I closed the door, and I said, I'm going to take the Shahada alone. And I remember I had a conversation with Allah, and I told him, you know why I'm taking the Shahada? I think Islam makes sense to me. I think there's a right to listen, to accept your word. And I don't want to do it in the presence of anyone else. I just want to do it with you. This is my Shahada. You know, Shahada means witness. I'm not doing it for anyone else. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I'm doing it because I think your word is true. I think the Quran is true. And I am scared that if I don't follow you, I might be among the people who will have it rough in the hereafter. And I said, I'll do this alone because this is just between me and you, so that you know my sincerity in this. And I recited the Shahada to myself alone. So the next time when I was telling anyone, I was just saying, I've become a Muslim. I didn't go into detail, but my Shahada moment was very private, it was very personal. I felt that it was just between me and Allah.
If you had the chance to reunite with your loved ones who have passed away, what would you say to them?
When I embraced Islam, my grandmother, my dad's mom, were very close. And it's interesting, every time I think of how long I've been in Islam is how long she has been dead. Because I became a Muslim in January and she died in May, so a difference of about 5 months. And every time I think about my late grandmother, I tell myself she was a Muslim. The only thing she didn't do is take her Shahada, because her character was Islam. She was very fair, she was very firm, she was very just. She loved her Lord, she worshipped her Lord the best way she knew how as a Catholic. But she was so fair and just that it cannot be anything but fitra. I'll use an example. My dad used to bring people at home to work around the farm. And anytime my dad brought people home and delayed paying them, they've finished their day's job and they're waiting for their pay. And for one reason or another, my dad started saying, come tomorrow. My grandmother used to just stand up and say, call my dad by his name and tell him, why did you call these people to your home? If you didn't have money to pay them, why did you call them? Pay them. They have to go home with their pay. They left their home to come here to earn something for today. They cannot go back to their families hungry because you don't have money. If you didn't have money, you should not have called them to your home to work. That was number one. Number two, as she used to tell my dad, the minute they leave your household unhappy, grumbling, complaining, they're taking barakah from your household. They're taking barakah from your children because you are the one who called them here. They didn't bring themselves. And my grandmother would go into her little room and look for whatever coins she has, and she used to pay them. And when I became a Muslim, I remember this hadith that our Prophet ﷺ taught us. What did he say? Pay your laborers before their sweat dries. And I told myself, subhanallah, my grandmother was a Muslim.